Okay. Am I good now? Alright. I think we're good now. Oh, that was difficult. Should not have been that difficult, but alas, here we are. Live noties. All right. What's up, folks? What up, what up, what up? We are into the action. My game volume is very low, though, so let me turn that up. What's up, folks? If anybody is there yet. We are good to go. That was my third time going live. I feel bad for anybody on Twitch. I apologize for the multi notification there. But we are into the action. Alright, where do I want to go from here? Couple quests. Return to Zevlor, hunt down Karlak, investigate the beach. Guess we can do the owlbear. Kick things off with the owlbear.
Something's wrong.
See what we think about that. Also, let me go ahead and put something up here. And do a message on this one. Copy, boom. Do that. And pin message. All right. Who do I want to deal with this? I'm thinking Valus. I'm thinking we're gonna be kind of hardcore about this. We're gonna be Valus.
You're a true soul. You can't die. Please stay with us.
I don't think he's conscious. Can you hear us, Ed?
Can you hear us?
You, not a step closer.
A strange symbol glows, marked on their flesh, and something within you stirs in response.
Is this your first run? No, Kaiser, this is not my first run. I've only done one full run, myself. This is me picking characters. Like, I built campaign 4 party, so I have Valus, Murray, Hal, and Azune that I'm playing through with. What's up, Dana? Just popping in for a moment. Appreciate it. What's up, Monday? We tried mods. Yeah, I have some now. Yeah. I will go where I wish. That's definitely a Valus kind of thing. At least the early Valus. But I will say, I've turned most of the mods off for this right now. Because it was
I'm so sorry.
making my people want
It's
to
our
attack
brother,
each other,
true soul
which was
Edwin.
not ideal.
He's injured, and
You got homebrew sometime? What is that like? Is there a mod called homebrew? Is that what you're talking
Shiver
about?
runs across your mind. You feel sated. The injured man locks eyes with you. The parasite writhes in your head.
Quick check-in while I'm headed to work. Love this past 4 episode. So Rekshi, Hollis, and the vibes of that whole scene were really fun. I agree, Jerry Dad. I agree. So Rekshi was quite humorous. I liked what both sides accidentally asked questions, which made for pretty hilarious stuff.
Your minds intertwine.
Nexus
You
mods,
see
okay.
siblings and
Yeah, I
you
don't
can
play that
bring
much.
new recruits.
Monday, thanks for all the likes on TikTok, by the way. I don't play that much these days. I mean, it's mostly just to get on and do this sort of critical
You
role
should
thing and
search that
chat about
corpse.
critical role while I do it. So
Edwin! Ed! Please!
He's with the Absolute now.
nice, Kaiser.
True soul, thank the Absolute. Edwin.
Sounds
brother.
interesting. I'm looking forward to the
He was
Act 2
chosen,
expansion. That should be
like
pretty
you.
cool. And some of the
Do you
other
have
like
Balder's
really
voice?
big mods
Where
that provide
about
like new
Edwin?
quests and zones and content and stuff like that would be interesting.
What? Are you testing us?
A true soul, like you, has been chosen by the Absolute. You speak with her voice. And
For
when the
anybody
time
on the
comes,
vertical
the true
version
souls, you
of my
will rule.
live stream on YouTube, I am live on the full screen as well. If you want to do that, just pop on over and check that out.
I don't know any druids.
What?
What are you doing?
Yeah, that's right. Getting into it. I ain't no true soul. I'm Valus. What's up, Storm C? Welcome in. Get him. What's up, Cantrip? How you doing? Yeah, we're going straight in on this. We're gonna have Valus go in for, I don't know. Like, do I just want to freaking Divine Smite out the gate and just see if I slaughter this guy? Dude, yeah, I will be at Gen Con. I will be at Gen Con. I booked my stuff for that probably a month ago now. I went ahead. I'm splitting a spot with Sloan, Frecky, and Dragon Slayer or Dave again. So otherwise I wouldn't be going. I wasn't going to. I mean, the cons are expensive, right? Like, not only the flight from Virginia, but then just, I mean, Airbnbs and stuff are pricey. So, but I decided I'd do this one, and we'd see how the future's looking by the time Gen Con rolls around.
I won't give in.
All right, let's have Hal. Still need to book yours. Yeah. Well, I'm glad I did mine before the Spirit Airlines thing, because I feel like I don't know. I haven't looked. Maybe it's all the same, but I would, when I saw that, I was like, oh, if that raised prices, I'm glad I got to it before that took place. So. Oh, he's saved. Okay. Command halt. Oh, I don't care about that. Did it on the wrong person too. Not ideal, my friend. 15 HP and we all get to go before. I'm not gonna do anything crazy.
Nothing will stand in my way.
Let's just hit with the old fireball. And dead. All right. What do you got for me, Edwin?
Strange power resonates within the corpse. It calls to you. Your limbs move if they're while at its hosts.
All right, when I played before,
the tadpole has absorbed it all. Its experience.
I never did the tadpoles. Valus, I think, she's gonna let the tadpole in. I've never done that before, but we're doing it. Oh, look at that. Isn't that pretty? Absolutely delightful. Absolutely delightful.
Abandon their hosts as soon as they need to. Vile parasites.
Along.
The parasite is stubborn. It refuses both to leave or to allow itself to be used as you desire.
Okay, fine. I'll figure it out eventually. So stick that tadpole at their butt. She did. That's not a looks thing. That was actually exactly what she did. Oh, we might be using that. Yo, it's a better stance. Yeah, we're doing a little bit more of the BG3 run. I mean, if it's anything like last time, which so far it hasn't been, it will just end up with me having BG3 in the background while we mostly just talk. Yeah. Really messed up Stone and Night song there. Oh, are you talking about the worm, or are you talking about something else? Like the video or something? Or the episode? Okay, so +1 to saving throws, that, or I can put on the 16. Maybe we give this... What is Azune wearing?
Shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting times.
Okay, he's got a 14. Nice. Can he wear this? No. Oh, wait, that was the wrong thing. There it is. Disadvantages, no AC from Dex, I think. He's good with that. Azune looking cool in this. I need a cooler shield, though. He's got to get a cooler shield. The worm. Gotcha. How you doing, Brandon?
Never a dull moment.
All right, so we played Velus through this. Who do we want to take into the Owlbear Cave? Who do we want to be the person that's making the decisions in there? I swear sometimes when I hop on to play this, I feel like it looks even better than when I played it before. Maybe I played it on my old PC and that's why, but sometimes I'm like, wow, this is prettier than I remember. I don't remember. Because you started earlier, first on the West Coast, working at work. I mean, that's possible. I mean, it is Sunday though, right? It is Sunday. But yeah, it could still pick up.
Owlbear tracks. Its nest must be nearby.
Owlbear tracks. All right, Amulet of Lost Voices is basically the Stone and Night song. True. We'll have Azune be the one who makes the decisions inside, even though... Yeah. Roll for Poetry, what's up? Hope your stream goes well. I'll have to watch the VOD. Oh, okay, no worries.
Light on my feet.
No biggie either way. We're just going to be playing a little BG3 and hanging out, talking D&D, talking Critical Role. My campaign... is coming to an end. My over 2-year-long campaign is coming to an end, guys. I legitimately, if you're in my game, don't listen to this. This is your warning. If you are in my game, because I know at least one of those people tunes. There are 2 of them might tune in. But I think it has 3 sessions left. Basically, I think my over 2-year-long campaign has 3 sessions left. And I need to figure out how to make the very last sort of combat really epic. So either we can talk about that some on this stream, or I will have a stream dedicated to like figuring out how to make that even better. Have I played BG3 before? Yes. Are you playing with any mods? Yes, but I turned some off. I think I have to be on Murray to see the mods? I don't have anything crazy. What I did to be able to run a full party of my characters, I had to open 4 instances of the game at the same time, and then all join a LAN party, and then craft all the characters, start the game from the main character, the first character I created, like the host, and then close all the other games. No, it was more complicated. I think I had to open the game, then close Steam, then do all of that, then reopen Steam, close all the other versions of it, and then load in that way. That's how I did it. Yeah, and yes, Cos, I've beat the game all the way through once. I've beaten it all the way through one time. I've done some other playthroughs, but I've never like gone all the way through.
Chest sealed. I can feel its aura.
Still alive, so that's progress.
So complicated, yeah. That's how I did, to where I have all 4 characters are like custom characters. There might be an easier way. Maybe you didn't have to like log out of Steam or do whatever, but that's what a random Reddit thread told me to do. So that's what I did. Takes a lot to carry a campaign for so long. Yeah, I mean it's been fun. It's gone through changes. The reason I'm wrapping it up as soon as I am is because only 2 of the original members are still in the game. And so like the other people are new-ish. I mean, they've been in for months and stuff like that, right? Like they're not new, but there's like references to things and they're like, I don't know what that is, right? Like they're not as ingrained in the story. And so it's like, okay, now that I have this group, it's, you know, everybody's showing up every week. It's kind of consistent, you know, it's consistent. Let me kind of do something from scratch. And it's a natural sort of, you know, the story could come to an end, right? I'm not like forcing it. But yeah. But I need to figure out right now, they're going to basically ride mechanical dragons at a point.
Can't slow down.
And so I need to iron some of the details out about that. I'm also going to be borrowing some minis from the guy's house that I played on Saturday. So I'm going to be able to use an actual Tarask mini. So it's going to be like this massive mini. And then I'm going to symbolize the dragons by using like young adult dragons. So the scale is going to look better in terms of like the minis on the map. Yo, what's up, David? Kind of campaign you're running? Who are the bad guys? What levels are we working with? Level 12. The party's currently level 12. I'm trying to decide if I want to give them 13 before it ends. Again, within like 3 sessions. Long story short, so I'm not going to give you all the details of this entire 2-year-long thing, but long story short, they're coming up to a point where there are these primordial beasts, these primordial beings that are like massive, like absolutely, like they dwarf the largest dragons, right? And when the world of Vasilia was kind of first crafted, it was all one continent and only dragons were on it, or so they thought. And then one day, from beneath the crust of the planet burst the monarchs. These are the primordial beasts. So the monarchs burst forth. War ensued between the monarchs and the dragons. The dragons eventually won, but they lost a majority of their numbers. And there's a mountain range called the Spine of Barracks. Barracks was the final monarch standing. So as he kind of crushed into the earth, you know, it kicked up all of this dirt that kind of built a mountain range, and then it extended over time over the top of his body. So like he's kind of beneath this mountain. His bones are basically. And so there's been this long running behind the scenes plot throughout this entire campaign. There's this dragon that like died or whatever back in the day, but he had actually gotten like a parasite in him from Barracks. And there's more to that, but basically he's trying to bring him back in secret. And they're at that point where they know this is happening. And so they're bringing like all the forces of Vasilia together, right? They've like brought in forces that were once enemies combining to like go to this other place. So they just came across on boats and they're kind of setting up an army. But the group is going to go in and try to stop the ritual from ever even like succeeding in bringing this guy back. So they're going to go in and they're going to fight this dragon like Dracolich sort of thing. The idea though, and this is, I mean, somewhat railroady, but we're at the end of the campaign. So this is just how this is going to play out. Basically, when they get close to kind of defeating this thing, you know, the mountain's going to be moving around them, things are going to be shaking, and the monarch is going to come to life and basically just stomp on the dragon, and then they're going to need to know that they need to get out. And so once they get out, they'll kind of, you know, regroup, whatever, and then they're going to mount these mechanical dragons that were a whole nother side arc that they went and got some arc cores to be able to power them. They found the blueprints, yada yada, and they will fight this giant beast basically on mechanical dragons. So they'll have like claw attacks and breath weapons and all that sort of stuff to help defeat Barracks, the last monarch standing. And that's basically like the premise of it. That's awesome, but yeah, attrition is really normal for a long-term campaign. One came in, had all the same players to the end, but another one lost half. Yeah, I mean, so it started, initially was online, and then we lost somebody, and then we lost somebody else, and I was like, well, at that point, I'm gonna run it in person, because the remaining 3 people or whatever were all in person. And so we just did that, and that was it. And then we rotated, like one guy ended up having to leave because of work. Then we brought in somebody else and they stayed, and then somebody else and they've stayed, and then we recently got another person. They started at level 1.
Quake of its heavy footsteps before you see
yeah,
it.
they started at level 1.
An owlbear.
So they've gone from 1 to 12.
Face looming out of the darkness.
do it.
The beast shrinks back, feathers quivering.
Nice. Okay. Well.
Breathe deep and move.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Oh, I'm out of Bardic Inspirations. Got it.
With haste.
Yeah, let's try the Vicious Mockery. Ooh, or we're gonna Dissonant Whispers it. We'll do that. Was it fun? Are you planning on starting a new campaign with a new group? Do you already have an idea? I am. I plan on running one. I'm still trying to come up with ideas for how that's going to work, because I want to still use my homebrew world. But it's one of those things where when you have people play through something that's like monumental, it almost feels like the next campaign isn't going to be as epic, because it's like, this is a world-ending crazy primordial beast of an enemy. So it's like, you do the next campaign and like, what do you build up to? Right? It has to be like something different. It's not just like, oh, here's another crazy monster that's going to take over. So I'm still trying to iron out what I want my next campaign to be. But I've had fun. I've enjoyed it. It'll be, as far as I know, all of the same people. You know, 1 to 12 is a pretty long game. Never heard of an online game changing to in-person. Well, we only play it online because No Hard Feelings, who was in the chat on Twitch, he was local and he moved to Texas. And so everybody else was here. We were all local except for him, so we played online for him, and then when he left the game, we just moved it in person. Because, you know, I prefer playing in person over online. So it just made sense. Frightened can't come this way. I feel bad, though, because I do like you. Am I going to be able to see it if I come over here? Or is the game going to screw me? That's the real question.
And move.
Shall we grease it? Okay.
Where do I go from here?
All right.
Here goes nothing.
Killing the owlbear? I am. I'm kind of just doing a casual playthrough here. Just, we'll kill stuff, do stuff. I didn't realize, to be fair, it's been a while since I've really played this game. And so I did the performance to like roar back at it and spook it. And I thought, oh, okay, it's not going to fight me anymore. And then I moved closer to it and combat started. So there's that. All right, can I get there if I do that? Nice. Dang it. I kind of wanted to Thunder Wave and put him back in the stuff. I should have tried to. I want to attack the big one, not this little guy, but it is what it is. Oh, I didn't. She's not even in it. That's kind of obnoxious. All right, Hal, what are we doing here? You're just gonna vicious mockery. I mean, hey, thanks, Miros. Hope you're doing well. It's raging. Ow. Ozune shielding for sure. What's up, Rubber Room? Girl did the same thing, kind of, but I guess it feels like you've covered all the secrets of your world. No. I have not uncovered all the secrets of my world. There's definitely more. I mean, for instance, this campaign, out of the 5 continents, they've only been to 3. Right? And they only went to 1/2 of 2 of them. Like, there's a fair amount of the world that they haven't even stepped foot in. So the idea with that, they would start, like, the new campaign was start in another continent that they haven't been to, and start maybe a little simpler. Which, I mean, the last one started kind of simple too, to be fair. Like, it didn't start with this crazy grand schemes. It was like, oh, you guys are all here for whatever, and like you just kind of formed together and blah blah blah. You know, it wasn't too crazy with all that. Yeah, let's just do that.
Time to push my luck again.
Yo, what's up, Stephanie? 1 HP. Oh! Alright. As objectively evil? Yeah, so the primordial beasts in that world are legitimately, basically, I hate this scene. Just beings of destruction.
A single strike will
Murray, look at Murray looking at it. Oh, Murray's the one deciding? I don't think Murray would kill it. Yeah, no, that wouldn't be how it works.
You watch speechless as the cub begins to eat his mother.
At least the cub has a fighting chance now.
I have an idea for a campaign I want to run at some point where the bad guys killing gods and the world starts to fall apart as a concept. The gods and bodies just cease to be. I'm thinking in my next game, I kind of want the gods to be a more prevalent thing. They weren't really in this one. And again, I have like homebrew gods, right? Like it's all a custom sort of thing. The only one that really had an existence is
On my way.
who I refer to as the arcane trickster, which is basically the rogue god. And his whole thing
What's hiding here?
is, you know, being a jokester, a trickster, you know, exactly what you expect. And so their visits with him or mentions with him is him like creating dungeons filled with traps, illusions, riddles, puzzles, and things like that. It was an easy way to insert those things into my game. And allow for some just like fun dungeons and stuff like that, because he kind of like lured them in there or set them up, and then he would appear every now and again as like a random person, like in disguise, and like talk to them or mess with them, and it was fun. He will exist in all my games. Anytime I'm in that world, like that god will always kind of engage. But I'm thinking about making the next one have maybe a little bit more. Maybe it is a little more on the religious front when it comes to that. Walls would cease to be. Oh, that's interesting. Better Sands. Like without the god, whatever they stood for just is gone. That is intriguing. Order of Nature. Undead creatures that hit the wearer receive 1d6 radiant damage. Beast says the wearer deal an additional. Yeah. About that. Okay. And then, of course, the game that I'm planning to run now that I was putting all the polls up for in Discord, that one I am planning to also do in my world. So I should probably just post something, to be fair. Like, I should probably just be like, this is the time of the game, this is the type of game, this is whatever, you know, because I'm just delaying it because I keep like polling, because I'm trying to make sure, you know, it's going to be on a day that not everybody's going to be able to make, and it's going to be potentially, you know, it's going to be a price that maybe not everybody can pay, and it's going to be, you know what I'm saying? So I have done enough polls to be like, okay, this is, you know, what people are more interested in, this is what most people can do, and then I'm just going to have to end up posting it and do that. Yo, what's up, Sherry? So it's been a favorite concept. Oh yeah, I thoroughly enjoy a good trickster god that allows for all that stuff to happen. There's still one god I have that I need to flesh out. Yeah, so that god's name is Dylas, Dylas, and then he's also known as, so it's Dylas the Whimsy, Dylas the Whispering Wanderer, Dylas the Lord of Mischief, and then he also, when he shows up in person, he refers to himself as the Arcane Trickster. Then I have Licia, the Merciful, the Refuge, the Light, Iridian, the Elemental Lord, the Force, the Weather Master, Grunvig, which is the Earth Father, World Crafter, Earth Shaper, Mathena, the Luminous, the Mystic, the Star Weaver, Threnodol, the Unyielding, the Conqueror, the Warlord. So of course they each have domains, right? Like that guy's the domain of war and strength, Mathena's magic, knowledge, and wisdom, Grunvig is nature, earth, and survival, yada yada yada. And then I wanted two more that I haven't figured out. I have a god of emotion, Iriol, with domains being like emotions, passion, empathy, like that sort of thing. And then all I have for this one, I don't even have a name. I just have opposite of Licia. So this is death, judgment, fate. I don't have names for them. I don't have symbols, you know, like anything like that. Yeah. Yeah. I also, at times, though, should stop talking about my current game publicly, because my idea was to kind of run that for the group. Since, you know, a fear of mine when trying to run a game is that I'll get behind or bog down, or you know, the fear of burnout and having to come up with new stuff and just constantly like whatever, versus like having an idea for what I want to do is a way to do that. So I plan on kind of using that story, but could alter, of course, go in a different direction. I don't think I can get this without it hurting me. I don't remember what the trick is, but I don't have Homegirl with me, so I'm not sure if this is even possible.
I have a lot on my mind and, well, in it.
Ow. Ow. Oh, wait. So I really can't... I don't remember the trick to this. Was it in the book?
Can't give up now.
Was it this one? Oh, do I have to move it out of the light? Is that what it is?
Move.
These things have
I
stayed
have forgotten how this works. Light and dark. I thought it might just because it's like right there in the light. I thought maybe you just have to move it. Do I want the answer? Sure. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind that. Going to give me Sugar Bob, since you're planning on going deeper on the gods, how are they? Are they all meddling, or are they more distant? Thus far, they've been distant, apart from the Arcane Trickster who gets involved. All the rest have been more distant. But again, I might be like, maybe the new age that they show themselves more, right? Like maybe that's the idea of my new in-person game, is that like the gods have begun to show their presence for the first time. And like, how is that altering the world? That sort of thing. Okay,
My step.
I thought I did that, but we'll see.
I've got a long road ahead.
Like the book or whatever, or is it something else? Oh, right there. A prayer dedicated to Saloon, imploring all to accept the Moon Maiden's blessing and share in her bounty. Okay. Now, how do I accept the blessing? Oh, read it by the chest? I gotta pick it up? Oh, thanks, chat. It's crazy that I, like, that's what it was and I somehow forgot about it.
No one back home will ever believe this. I have a lot on my mind.
Yeah, let's put that on Murray.
In it.
Murray's gonna wear that.
Live in more interesting times.
No one stopped me yet.
Burnout is the #1 enemy of DMing. Other than schedules, of course, my advice is going with whatever route is easiest for you that you're most passionate about. Yeah, well, that's kind of, again, that's why I don't necessarily want to start from scratch when I run this, because I want to be able to do a good enough job that, you know, I have room. I can kind of look through my notes of the last 2 years and be like, okay, this is kind of what I did with them. You know, and things are going to be different, right? Because I'm going to allow, you know, there's freedom. You know, it's not a linear you know, you're not like guardrailed through the whole thing. But I don't run like straight up full on sandbox games. You know, like one of the things that I least like when I'm playing games, and this is a problem with my Saturday group, where I'm a player, I have not DM'd over there, is they will sometimes, like, almost on purpose, I post about this in Discord, they'll just be like, yeah, I'm not taking the quest that you designed, Dungeon Master. Yeah, you gave us this quest hook and I'm choosing to ignore it, like on purpose. Like, I'm not gonna take your quest hook. And I'm like, why? You know, like, those are like, I do not want those types of people in my games. I would rather min-maxers. I would like the people who are purposefully making the Dungeon Master's job harder. It ain't for me. I don't like that. Not one bit.
I want to have a word.
A tingle runs through your head and down to your feet.
Ah, there it is. That shiver.
Thanks for sister. I forgot it, probably. Yeah. But it's cool that you did. Heck yeah. Also, what's up, Eric Miles?
How do you feel?
What's up, Anakin? Over on TikTok. Surprisingly fine.
Surprising is just the word, isn't it? Before the Illithid's unscheduled surgery, I'd felled hundreds of beasts and a fair few fiends. The tadpoles weakened me, suppressed greater talents, but beyond that, I've showed no signs of turning. No nausea, no pain, not even a hot flash.
Double streaming? I am, yeah. I'm live TikTok 2 times on YouTube and once on Twitch. YouTube, I have a horizontal stream, like full screen, and then I have the same like vertical portrait mode that TikTok does on YouTube as well.
Perhaps the worm's vat was poisoned.
SDM, I love those players who play as a board game in groups like that, though. Wait, what do you mean?
Merely on holiday. We could conjecture
Play as a board game
all
in groups
night.
like that, though.
I suppose
You love
the
wait,
why
you love the
doesn't matter
players
so much as
who
the
like
what.
purposefully
And that
ignore
answer is plain
quest
as the
hooks
horns on
and
a
will be
war
like
devil's
for
head.
instance,
We get these things out.
he puts us in a city or whatever, and like there's these multiple quests and there's whatever, and it's a hub, right? This whole hub that he has us going through that has multiple quests in it that we can do, and like we do this one, it may impact that thing over there, whatever. And a player's just like, I just want to leave this place. I don't want to be in the Elven City anymore. I'm just gonna leave. And he's just like, if we don't accomplish whatever in 24 hours, I'm leaving. And the Dungeon Master's designed this whole area, all these different quest options, all these whatever, and the guy's just like, I want to leave. And as somebody who DMs, I'm like, dude, don't be like that. You know, like, yeah, I don't know. I don't like that at all. Oh, you're talking about like well, yeah, I'm not talking about like a sandbox style game thing, like or a West Marches. I'm talking about like a normal, you're sitting around the table with 5 other people and you have 2 quest hooks put in front of you and people are like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. Right? Like, I know you showed up and you had these 3 things planned for us to choose between. I'm not gonna do any of them. Will you be doing a review of C4 episode? I don't know. I didn't do one of 26. I might, because I need to do more videos. Oh, this is the only video I did this whole week was my recap that I posted today. So I probably should do a review. I probably should, or something. I like when they explore something. So we're talking about different things, right? I'm not against like somebody coming up with a different thing or saying like, hey, you mentioned this thing, can I go check that out? I'm all for that, right? Like, oh, I think I want to go do this thing. I'm talking about being like, oh, I know you created this whole thing with the purpose of us doing it. I'm just gonna look you and say, I'm not doing any of your quest hooks. Like, that's when to me, you are being directly like uncaring, lacking empathy towards your dungeon master for the sake of it. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about like, oh, you said that there was a cellar in that building. I'm gonna go explore that cellar. And then I have to come up with like, oh, I didn't think you were gonna do that. Let me figure out the cellar, right? Like let me create that there's rats down there or there's whatever. I'm all for that. I'm talking about like, I'm gonna stare your quest hooks in the face and then I'm gonna go, no, I'm not doing any of them. Don't know where to start. I mean, download a streaming software like OBS or Meld, and then follow the instructions for how to like get your stream going, and then click the start streaming button.
We meet again.
That's basically it.
As
and if you haven't played BG3, then I mean, you can join people's lobbies, but you can also just run your own campaign. So,
for whenever thou hast need of my services.
I just don't know why people join you if they're willing to play collaboratively. Like, what are they getting out of it expecting? Yeah, exactly. Like that. Yeah. No, I think it's collaborative, and I think if you're purposely being like, hey, DM, I know that you put all this time and energy into this thing, and I'm just gonna say, screw it, I'm not doing it. I just that to me, again, it's not even happening to me. I'm a player in the game, and I find it just like disrespectful to the DM, especially when you know the DM is not like, last night we ended early because the DM was like, I don't have what you're talking, like I had this stuff and you're like, no, we're gonna go do this. Now mind you, to me, like, this isn't the best example because I think you should be able to go a little off the cuff, right? Again, I go off the cuff and we'll do stuff. I ran a one shot last Saturday. I think I've told you guys this. And the one shot had nothing to do with rats in the cellar or anything. And one of my players at the start of the game, they got to this tavern. They had to wait until the next morning to go visit the lord lady at the manor. And he was like, I'm gonna search. I'm gonna use my spell to search for like trapdoors and stuff. And I just randomly was like, there's a trapdoor. And that turned into a whole scene where like they tried to like sneakily get into it and like lift up the rug and like go in, and then I made it that there was like a rat infestation, and that it turned into a whole extra thing that was completely made up on the fly that had nothing to do with the one-shot story. And I enjoy that. But if we would have shown up for the one-shot and the players went, I'm not doing the quest, that's what I'm talking about, where I'm like, okay, then what are we doing here? You know, like, I also think it depends on, David, when it comes to that, is knowing your table. Like, if you know that you and the dungeon master are the types where it's very free flowing, you as the players are able to just be like, I'm gonna do stuff, and your DM is just like, cool, this is a sandbox style game, then 100% do that stuff. Whereas if you know that you're playing in a more linear type of game with side quests that you can kind of pick and choose, but like it's one of those things that if you know, like these people know what the table is like, they know the type of game we're playing, and being like, I'm not going to do your quests is like, what do you what? Like, yeah. Thank you, Edwin, appreciate it. People's perception seem to be that Brendan's style is more on rails than Matt's. Where do you veer on the scale, and something you particularly like from the season? I think we're so early that one of the reasons some of it has felt a little more on rails is because if you compare it to the other games, like if we were in episode 27 of campaign 2, you're already a decent ways in. You've already had 40 hours with each character. Well, except for, you know, Ashley's. Whereas because we're splitting into these different groups, and we've really only gotten like 7 sessions with each, like alone, that's focused on them, we're still kind of in the introduction stage. Like, I feel like we're still almost in the, like, we're setting the world up. We're setting up the real scene right now. So I think that's why it kind of feels that way. Oh, Rubber Room, these guys have been playing together for like years and years and years and years. I'm the newest player in that game, and I've been in there for like a year and a half or something. Some of these dudes have been playing together for 20 years. Like they know it's just an odd thing when this guy's just kind of like, I'm not doing your stuff. I don't want to do your quests. And it's like, then, you know, we showed up tonight to do this, you know. Yeah, it's, I don't, mean-spirited may not be the right word, but very, like, I don't know the word to describe it, but very just like, I'm just going to like try to bully my way into this in a way. Like, yeah, I don't know, but it rubs me the wrong way. And I generally try to be like, hey, I want to do it. I want to do the quest. Like, I try to help the DM out because I would want players to help me out in that situation. Right? What are you?
There are many answers to that question. None are important.
Stubborn, contrary. Yeah, I mean, it's like such a specific thing. But it's almost like if we were in his game and we were like, this is what we're gonna do, I feel like he would also be like, well, then we're gonna wrap it up. Everybody's gonna go home because this is what I designed, right? Because, well, one, it's his house, so he has all the cool minis and Dwarven Forge and all that, so he will have all the stuff already set up when we show up. We will know we're gonna be in this arena fighting this stuff. We're gonna be in this cave at some point, and we're gonna be in that. Like, the whole table is already filled with terrain. And so if we show up and we're like, I'm not going to go in the cave, he's going to be like, cool, everybody go home. But in somebody else's game, he's like, I'm not going to do the quest. And I'm like, what are we doing? Like I don't understand. Estrella the Fool, hello. Do you think Cadigan was a little tuned out or so incredibly deep in roleplay he said something so foolish? I think it was tuned out. It's interesting. I feel like during this convergence, well, one, it's already been talked about, like Cadigan and Teor have not really done anything. Like, they've been kind of like not there. But the only 2 instances of Cadigan we've gotten, it's like he's a silly boy now. And he wasn't really a silly boy throughout the Overture and the Soldiers Table. But the only 2 scenes we've basically gotten from him so far in Convergence, he's been a silly boy. And I hope it's just the Convergence and we get back to it, but yeah, it was odd. Of course, he was like a blubbering fool at the gate. And then it was like, I think the asking the question about Wick was, as a player, I don't even know if it was tuned out. I think as a player, he just made a mistake. I think because he knows Wick ran away, that he just said something out loud, and then it was like, oh, dude, they said Wick was captured. Like, oh, I just asked a question. It was one of those things. Like, we all make mistakes like that. I think he made a mistake right there. That's all. But I think when you combine that with the other scene, it just, like, he looks like he's just a silly, blubbering boy. And you're just like, where did Cadigan go? I like the picking up of the pace of the last 3 episodes. And 64 has really got some momentum now. Well, I think part of the pickup of the pace is, again, they need to get through 3 different groups at the table at once doing different stuff. So it does make sense. No bonus. Need a nat 20. Got a 3. Love that. Let's use an inspiration for a chance at a nat 20. 13. All right. As a DM, does it lead for more enjoyment for you in campaigns if you improvise those scenes like the rats in the sewers? I have had amazing times that I've improvised stuff. Yes. For me, I love the improvising scenes and all that stuff. I get a big kick and a big dopamine hit or whatever off of my players' enjoyment. So when I can come up with something and we on the fly, we're riffing back and forth, and it's going well, I enjoy the crap out of that. I also made it a point in the last time I ran like a little short campaign and when I did this one shot, I have tried to put an emphasis on improv and being able to like more on the fly come up with things. So yeah, I mean, are there sometimes mistakes you go, oh, that person, you know, probably wouldn't have said that, or like I could have handled it? Yes, absolutely, right? I think everybody does that. But I like both. You know, I like when the thing that I kind of had an idea for comes to fruition, and I also like when a player, again, recently there was a scene and one of the drow that had invaded their ship that they were on was the Arachnomancer and turned into a spider and like claws across the wooden deck and goes to bite them. And then the barbarian activated his thing, went large size, picked up the spider and chucked it off into the ocean. And I was like, oh. And then it was like, okay, spider probably not really swimming out there too well. So the guy had to change out of his arachno form, meaning he couldn't go into it again. It's once per short rest or long rest. So it altered the fight. And it was just an on the cuff, like, oh, he threw him off the boat. That was well done by him to come up with it, be like, oh, this is what I'm gonna do. So then it was like, okay, he took him out of combat for 2 rounds. Then he climbs up. He's now in his human form. He's got water dripping off of him. He's mad. He flings some spell, right? Like, it was cool. There was also a fun scene where I also had a drow inquisitor, and he used, after the guy threw the spider off the boat, the drow inquisitor looks at the barbarian and is like, levitate. Barbarian fails. Drow inquisitor floats the barbarian 20 feet in the air, then as a bonus action basically sends out a spiritual weapon. He has a bonus action ability where he can put a dagger, like a spectral dagger, and so he has the dude floating 20 feet in the air as a dagger just keeps stabbing him. And it was wonderful. It was just a really fun thing in general.
Suspicion always holds.
I heard Ruby excusing Cadigan's blubbering behavior as a fish out of water since Cadigan isn't used to big city and political scheme, a decent excuse for some bad roles. Sure. Exactly. What I'm saying is, in order to have even asked the question, he had to have not been paying attention in an incredibly tense moment. I don't think so. I think players make mistakes. Like those people sitting around the table are human, right? I have more than once known something. In my brain, I know it for a fact, whatever, and then I say something and go, why did I say? I know this is, why did I ask that question? I think that's 100% what happened. I just think Robbie made a mistake. Like, that's it. I don't think it was like a thing. I think he just made a mistake. But the scene in general was fun. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was a little agitated when I felt like Brennan let it go. Because everybody jumped in and tried to like salvage the scene, and I'm like, no. He rolled a natural 1 when she asked if he knew anything about Wick. Like, absolutely not. She's not letting that go. And then at the very end, when he was like, she wants to come after you. Like, you're marked. I was like, yes, yes, because I was about to be fuming if he let that go. Yo, what's up, Batson? That can lead to most. Yeah. To me, it was just a mistake, and it led to a whole thing where, like, now they have to figure that out, right? Like, what does it mean? What happens? How bad do you think that blunder where Octaves was almost revealed could have been? Really odd to me that Azune asked to bring Octaves with him instead of asking to sign a handwritten letter or something. I mean, I agree with Azune. Like, that makes sense to me. To be honest, like, as soon as he did it, I was like, that's the whole time I'm watching, I'm going, guys, Octus is the evidence. Like, he's a member of the house who they tried to kill. You can verify that he's been, like, killed, right? You can tell that he's dead, right? You can, like, you have the Snow Night song. You, like, Octus, and he has the letters. He has, you know, like, he's your best piece of evidence. So to me, it made complete sense. I was like, absolutely, go there, do the thing. Like,
look. You're one. It's just something I have to live with.
I mean, hold on. Let's see. Do my Ashley voice on. How badly does it hurt? I don't think I nailed it, but that's how I imagine her doing it.
Being honest.
How badly does it hurt?
But it always passes quickly, so I can manage.
So I thought it was super good. Yeah, it was a good episode. It was a good episode, Batson. But yeah, when they walked in and they were like, why are you dead? Right? Cavalier said that, the Hound. I was like, oh, and then it was like, oh wait, yeah, that's not actually how that's gonna work. No, I wanted you to pick it up, not drink it. There it is. This is what I was looking for. Ooh. Wait, is that gonna be... Right, if we want to get Murray's hat to the right color, do we think that might do it? Let's send that to Murray.
No one stop me yet.
Why can't I get the right? I mean, can't find the right exact color I want to get Murray looking right, you know? Similar to the scene with the demon and Wick asking if he knew how the Luxes get their power. Like, don't we already know that because they're making past the demon selling their souls? Yeah, Winclair, but I don't think, didn't Whitney specifically say that Tyranny didn't share that? So we know, right? But again, I don't even know if the players have put that together. But when the witch or the demon, when Soul asked that question, I was like, Brennan's trying to point out these people's power is actually not coming from like the filament necessarily. These people are getting their power from pacts with demons and they don't even know it. Like, that's cool. I like that. But again, I'm pretty sure Whitney has chosen not to share that, so. Yeah, didn't tell him about the demonic script, so. Lore Ride's last episode was great. Yeah, well, that's why I said we got a lot of answers about different things in it, which is why I made like my thumbnail and the title was like, you know, we got a lot of answers for my recap because that's, we did. Like, when you really think about it, there was a lot of stuff in there. I'm a little confused on the whole Einfossen thing. I was under the impression that they were working with Daconis, or at very least considering it, and they were dealing with the Seekers. I think, before the episode, I was saying, I don't think we have anything that says, like, they are actively working with them or anything like that. I was under the impression, personally, that I was like, I don't think they are. Doesn't mean they won't choose to, but I don't think they actively are now. So his panic attack was well done. Yeah. He has a lot of those. Anyways, Little Barbarian Pinata concept. I'll have to chat on my player sometime. Barbarian Pinata concept. Oh yeah, levitate. Oh, that was so much fun. So I will say this, another fear of mine with DMing. So in my experience, I have, unfortunately, in my 2+ year long campaign, rarely used spells because my party, my players are all marshals and then a cleric, and he wasn't a cleric until level 10. So I've kind of had to cater in a way to that because it was like, if I do a bunch of spellcasters, they just like sit back and blast the party, yada, yada, yada. So yeah. Murray's gonna be the one who talks to the dog. Oh wait, I don't have speak with animal, I don't think. I don't think anybody can talk to the dog. Oh, she's bad at all of these. This is such a sad spot too, but I don't think I have any speak with animals on anybody. Unless, was it in the flying, mind reading? Would mind reading work, you think? Probably not. You can just read the mind, but like can't speak with animals. Ah, potion of animal speaking. I actually, because I want to be successful, I think I'm going to give it all to Hal. Even though Ozne has a 16 charisma, what does Hal have? 17, so not really big. It's no difference, but. Such a sad scene.
Keep moving, stranger. Quietly.
But when they were not letting the Seekers leave, I was like, they're considering things at the very, yeah, they were trying to figure it out. They were trying to figure out what the situation is. I think Ozne's low-key cooked and Einfossens were already in the know, and now he's gonna come with all the evidence he kept. See, again, I was talking about this a lot in the pre-show. I don't agree. I don't think the Einfossens are currently plotting to like turn on him or something. They could. Brennan's capable of it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying there's a 0% chance. In my mind, I'm hoping they're not, I guess. Lady Aaron, hello. I actually cried when he was doing his panic attack. Was enjoyed so much. Luis Carrazzo is very talented. Very talented. Could be an amazing ally or enemy, exactly. As for the situation with the Faux leaving Cat, I think Brennan was just trying to avoid a situation like what happened later at the Arcanon. Oh, like, we're jumping straight into this person can kill you. Yeah, it's kind of like a, you know, she's after you now. So I'm giving you a running head start. Right? I forgot we were playing the game. I thought we were just here talking about it. I mean, that's basically what we're doing. Like, the game is kind of like the background to us chatting about Critical Role and everything else. So, yeah.
I told you to go.
I don't want to intimidate, guys. I want to know. I want to know how many people came here and threatened the dog. I just want to talk. I just want to talk. I think Alphonse is a neutral leaning good right now. I don't think they like being out of the know in regards to the Dakotas. I think Brennan is trying to be a possible Southern House ally. Yeah. Fair for new player, in my honest opinion. I mean, Robbie at least was in the last game. I do think, and it's somebody left a comment on my recap that was like, I love people trying to get Taylor and Kat again to join in, only to find out that they are not joining in because Travis and Robbie don't want to be part of the conversation or actually bored out of their minds. I don't know that it's that extreme, but it does seem like they are. When you're watching, you're like, those two are like, oh, dude, we have to be here for another 2 hours. Like, it does kind of give the vibe of like they are not feeling the conversions very much right now, which is unfortunate.
There's death in your scent, but not in your words. Still, you should go. My friend is injured. He needs rest.
Sad.
Of course he will. And then we'll return home.
Can you resurrect this guy? I'm guessing not.
Things on 2 legs.
Any additions for the next tables, groups yet? No. And to be fair, if I thought about it, like maybe I'd come up with some more stuff or ideas. But right now, no.
He calls me Scratch. You can do the same.
Yo, what's up, P-Wog? Leave on Makiar. Yeah, I mean, it's really just going to depend. Like, it's hard to predict the groups when we know that, like, the pin is probably about to drop, right? And that could alter so many things that, like, any predictions we have are just going to be off or wrong.
No, I won't leave him.
I don't want to shout out the core. Why is, like, I hate that this is the only option they give you.
That's enough.
I had a feeling. I'd never done it before. Ain't no way I'm fighting Scratch. Ain't no way.
No, I won't leave him. If it comes to that, I may. Thank you.
Okay, with the dog. Yeah, no, I'm not a dog attacking kind of guy. Right. Over here. It's crazy that I've forgotten stuff, and I played through this part of the game. I played through Act 1. I played through Early Access like 5 times, guys. Like, I have done Early Access so much. When it, like, within the month before the game came out, I was streaming it a lot, very successfully. I had like 300 concurrents at a time, like was averaging like 200 viewers a stream. It was fantastic over on Twitch. And yet I've forgotten so much of this because it's been so long. Yeah, it's a bummer, but Had it been players like that. Sucks to Discord that usually someone bored like that just waits till stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. The fact that they're like, oh, we're all gonna be here, whatever, and they're just like sitting there like, yeah, I'm good. Like when they finally brought Travis in and he just said, I am Teor. And they were like, that's the only thing he said for 2 episodes. And it was like, yeah, it just seemed like he was not interested. What do you suppose is actually going down in that theater? Creed wants nothing to do with it. Takonos are up to something, but who else? I am not sure, but I don't think the paint is what they think the paint is. I don't, and so a lot of viewers and the players seem to, like, again, think that, like, the paint is a bad thing that was sent there by the Takonos to, like, open a portal. And I'm like, no, Theozy put it there, is my take, my opinion. And now we know that the lady took out some of the bad from the paint, right? Like the Sul Rekshi did stuff with the paint to make it so it's not like as bad of a thing, as evil as a thing. So I don't know.
Seems simple enough.
An empty mind flayer vessel. If its occupant survived, then nowhere to be seen.
So cool about playing Baldur's Gate 3. I have not, Geeky Vapor. At least I don't think so. I mean, if I did, maybe it was a bajillion years ago, but I haven't seen it anytime soon. Is this a jump you can make? All right. I'm just trying to decide where I want to go next. Nora Sierra, thank you for subscribing to the channel. Appreciate that. Do I want to go across the bridge towards the little town and fight those people? Do I want to go back and do the refugees thing or the Karlak? Or do I want to go over to the beach and do the beach? Just watch your CR recap. Just wanted to point out that none of the schemers remembered to point out that Demetus was overheard that the Falcon was delivered to Obermus Manor. Yeah, I feel like they've like mentioned kind of sorta in passing, but so much stuff gets mentioned in passing in these episodes that it makes it so difficult. Because somebody, like, they'll start talking about something and somebody go blah blah, and then they go huh, and then they just like go off, and then it's like unless somebody brings it back up and like forces that conversation, you just end up with, it's just, yeah, a little all over the place. I can never play Evil. It makes me sad. It feels like its purpose. Same. I've tried in this game in particular, because, you know, when you play through it, my problem is that when I play through it, I just end up picking the same stuff I picked the first time, and then I'm just not having as much fun because I'm like, okay, this is the same thing I did before. But when I was like, I'm gonna be evil, I'm like, I can't. Like, I can't be evil. Yeah. Yeah, he did not sound excited to be there. At all. D&D Beyond summer sale soon? I have no idea. Even if the paint in itself isn't bad, which, do you believe Theozy's intentions of opening a portal to the underworld is still pretty questionable? Well, if that's his plan, is to open a portal to the underworld. Like, we don't necessarily know if that's the case.
Thought you was busy with the foul bloods in Elson's Grove. Sucker punching strangers. That's your bit, right?
I don't think I did it. I think Valus punched you in the face, actually.
Wasn't any of your business, though, was it?
Is it games? It doesn't work exactly, Slice. Like, I just
go any worse. Then you showed up.
I just can't. You know, this playthrough, like, I'm trying to, so I'm almost taking it out of my hands. In some ways, I'm trying to do the things that I think the characters from Campaign 4 would do. That one I picked just because it was the half-orc line, and so it was like, oh, I'm going to use their line. So in some of these, I'm allowing myself freedom by being like, I'm going to pick the class one, or the species one, or the thing that I think that a character from the show would do. Build a bunch of crates to jump to the balcony. Okay. I know there's a lot of stuff like that people have done, and I know that crates were like a massive thing with people like stacking stuff up and doing all that. But I don't know that specific thing.
The kind that leaves half your crew dead. There's a wizard in Baldur's Gate that'll pay gobloads for a relic, but gold ain't any use if you're too cold to spend it. Whatever you... Look, we're getting out. Come on. We're wasting time.
Sheesh, look at them. They're running. Them boys sprinting. It's rare when there's only one sneeze. I don't think we know the whole story of the paint anyways, but I think it's safe to say that it's not bad, or else wouldn't have been something the Aussie said in his last moments. Yeah, again, we don't fully know, like, the truth with the Aussie either, right? Like, you have the people who really believe who he is, and you have the ones that are like, not so sure he's who you think he is. Well, yeah, that's kind of what Geeky was just saying, was that he had stacked a bunch of stuff up to do something. To avoid the tower fight.
Less you like trash. Then keep looking.
Who's had the most character development, and who was still the same in your opinion? Whose arc has been your favorite so far? It's too early. I mean, we're literally going like, who's had the most growth in the 8-9 episodes worth of time that we've seen them, right? It's been like a week and a half of in-game time. I would say the person with the biggest change is Valus, but I don't like it. So like, yeah, she's definitely had the biggest shift in her like she's a whole new person right now. So
let's get going.
Hello and welcome to Bogrot. Now, kindly.
As a DM, do you think it's more important for Brennan to incorporate Taylor's story relevance or more on Travis to engage with the story even though it's not about him? There's only so much anyone can do. I think that they tried to direct some stuff towards him. I think it also happened with whatchamacallit. He had a scene with the group that he went with where they tried to like address him and he just didn't really take part in it. So I think you can try, and if he doesn't want to do it, he doesn't want to do it. But yes, I think in general, if your players are there and they want to play, they should probably like try to play. But I also get that, you know, if you're not enjoying that as much, that's okay. I think it's less quote unquote acceptable when you're on like the world's biggest actual play and you seem like you don't want to be there, right? Then it's kind of like, because you're on camera. It's not like, you know, there are definitely times at a home game where somebody's just like out of it that day and you're just like, okay, I'm trying to get them involved. They're not really biting. It is what it is. They'll roll some dice if I say, hey, roll me, you know, this, or hey, combat starts. Like they're going to participate. But there's that. I think, again, when you're on a camera and it's actual play, it's a little bit tougher to be like, oh, he's just not engaged, you know? We're going drow line. I'll give you another chance. Look at me again and choose your words carefully.
Ah, right. Might be I was a little rude. All drow are welcome in Bogrot.
Yeah, that's what I thought. No, I don't think Thimble is bad, but she also doesn't know everything. To be fair, Ozzy went from who fans thought would be irrelevant to a fan favorite. Yeah, but that's just from like the overture. He was a background character, and then he stepped up, right? Same thing with Hal. Like Hal's also become a much more liked character by me, but that's not because he had an arc or he's changed. It's just because he actually got to do stuff. Right? So like I'm not gonna be like, oh, you know, Azune is like the most changed, when in reality he barely talked in the overture. I just don't think anybody's really changed yet to like answer that. Cause I think the only person I can be like, this person is drastically different in any way is Valus. What's up, Mikey?
Go on. More.
Moonhaven.
My wife usually plays quiet characters. She's full engaged, just struggles with RP sometimes. Yeah, I mean, I try to make sure my group's going to be somewhat balanced, or at least, you know, my home game, right? Because I had a guy join, named Chris, different Chris than the one that was in here who was playing that, who enjoys combat, right? Like that was his whole thing, which he likes rolling dice and fighting stuff. He's not really the role play type. He played a barbarian, a Goliath barbarian. He wanted to swing a big axe to deal big damage. That was it. Like, that's what he was there for. I knew that. He knew that. And so every now and again, yeah, I would try to like give him a specific thing or like draw, you know, point things in his direction. But I also just recognize that like that's his play style. That's what he wants to do. But if you're designing an actual play, you're not bringing that person in. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not who you're like. Let's bring in the guy who never talks and just does combat, right? Like that's just not how it works. But a home game, sure, you can have the person, but I balance, like, for instance, at a point he was like, hey, my brother might be interested in playing it. I literally asked him, does he play like you? Because I don't want to throw off the balance of my table. At that time, we had two people who will engage. They will role play. They will speak for the party. They will talk amongst it. And then we had him, and we had somebody else who was new and wasn't really doing that much RP. So I was like, I'm not willing to have 3 people who are kind of not into it and 2 who are, because I prefer there to be some. So, right, I need there. I can have like 1 person at my table who like is just there to roll dice and kill monsters. Past that, it gets more difficult.
Watch what you touch. If it smells like weed, it's fine.
Gotta be something in this heap.
I think he feels like he's not trying to contribute to the story. It's possible. Cat kind of feels like he doesn't have much of a reason to even be there. Yeah, other than like the relationship with Teor and like the Thiazi thing, like it made sense for him to do the Casimir thing, but it would have like, he's the one person that it would have been super valid if they got back to town and he said, good luck, guys. And he turned around and left. Like, that is valid. What's up, Double? Only Teor knows Teor. Fact. Factual. But even then, Grog talked and did silly stuff. You know, it's not like, yeah. I wouldn't say they're gripes so much as, at least not what I'm talking about. I'm not like, I don't have gripes against them. It's just that he and Robbie looked bored. That's it. And then when they finally were like, hey, here, he just said, I'm Teor. And it was like, okay. And then like he just didn't seem to want, like, when you're watching and the person literally doesn't seem to want to be engaged, it's just kind of like, you know, That's what I'm saying, Winclairs. I feel like there's a noticeable drop off, right? Like, I know that he's always been where, you know, he's probably the person who probably looks at his phone the most out of everybody or whatever. That cool. But I also feel like the last 2 episodes, the convergence so far, it has felt like he is like, I would rather be at home. Like, I'm not interested. Right now my wife is playing a dumb character and regretting it because she's figuring out puzzles all the other players can't, but she can't solve the puzzle while staying in character. Valid. I normally don't really hold people to that. Like when I'm putting puzzles in, it depends on the type of game, right? You have the games where like you want everything to be like done with the dice, and so it's not really about like figuring it out outside of it. And you have the games where you're like, I'm putting this in here for the players to have enjoyment. And I will allow rolling to like figure it out for the characters or whatever if they want to. So I tend to kind of have both our options, if that makes sense. Like we can roll to solve them, or you guys can as a group like do this puzzle or answer this riddle. Or if you can't as players, then let's do a roll in game. right? Like, let's do an intelligence roll or a history roll, and then we'll see if your characters can figure it out, like that sort of thing. Also, what's up, Bound Bob? I don't know if I said hello when you said hello. No hate to Travis, that was one of my favorites. Yeah, exactly. Like, there's no hate at all. It's just it's a noticed thing, right? And it feels like a lot of people are noticing it. So it's not like one person made it up in their head, right? It's like a lot of people are like, hey, he doesn't really seem interested. I honestly think this whole 3 tables 13 players thing is just not working. There's not enough time for the players to get into their characters. Yeah. I feel like seems like Travis just isn't having fun. It's way too different of a dynamic. Yeah. I feel like the convergence can be slightly overwhelming for certain players. I'd feel like everything I said need to be important or contribute lore or share info. Yeah. And then again, right now I think they're somewhat suffering from the Murray problem that she had all the information. And then when even the Seeker, so I said they're going to have some information she didn't have, she also was kind of like, well, I kind of knew about that, and I have a piece of that, and I also know something about that. So, you know, but I agree to a point where, like, when it's really just everybody's there to drop lore, and you're not the person who's going to drop the lore, you're like, okay, I'm just going to sit here. But then you also think, if I was him, right, if I'm thinking if I'm Travis, I'm just going to go, hey, I want to free my brother. I want to, like, I want my brother free. And he's not even really pushing that. He's just kind of like, yeah, we can do it tomorrow. Right? Like, it just doesn't seem like he hasn't found something to care about. I thought the brother thing would be it. It wasn't, right? Like, but Crossy, welcome in. And yeah, I mean, the overture was a little over. I think the overture is more overwhelming than this because we've seen most of what, like, they're sharing in this. She really wants to stand character as a dumb bird. No, that's fair. She could try to, like, so here's a way that she could try to roleplay it, is to answer some of them in just silly ways. Right? Like, try to have, like, that silly way of, like, so let's say it's a color puzzle, and you're like, I'm trying to think of some random way to be, like, silly about, like, oh, you know, as a dumb barbarian, I used to mix 2 colors of mud, and when I did red and yellow, it made orange, and, like, the answer to the riddle is orange, or like the puzzle is orange, like it's a color puzzle, right? Like something like that, like to try to roleplay getting the answer. But Connor, when it first came up, he was like, yeah, we can delay it if you guys want. Like, he didn't have a care. Like, I'm saying that was an opportunity for him to, like, step up and be like, here's something for me to be passionate about and role play. And he was just like, whatever you guys want to do. Like, we could leave my brother, we could do it, like, that's it. You know, like, I get it now that they're like, oh, it's gonna take to midnight, but that's also partially because they pawned it off on somebody. They didn't go, like, immediately, yes, I'm gonna lock in and make this potion. They were like, no, I have the student do it. Right? Like, again, that's a choice. It was a choice for them to put it on the back burner. That's what they've done. They put it on the back burner. Yeah, she could roleplay stumbling into the answer, allowing her to still be, again, as long as everybody at the table is cool with that, because, again, it depends on the table. There are tables where people are going to be like, your character's stupid, you're not allowed to participate in the riddle, right? Like, that's it. But
work in progress, surely.
Yeah. Let me read up on some of this. We're just scared of Brennan, like maybe if he stays quiet, he won't get called on in class. No, I don't think it's that at all. Have you ever come up with puzzles that your players couldn't solve? For sure. I've also come up with riddles that I thought were awesome and great and, like, double checked them with somebody else, and then I gave them to my party, and when they finally got the answer, they looked at me and told me it was stupid. So, yeah. It can be a brutal world out there doing riddles where you're like, the answer is so obvious, and then when you finally give it, they're like, that's stupid, that doesn't make sense at all. That didn't feel good, I'll tell you that. Recap, you want to see this? Yes. I ended up seeing the thumbnail where he was saying they were trying to draw it double. I'm enjoying the Convergence overall, but I'll be happy when they split off and get more time to shine. Yeah, Convergence is a nice little thing. Yeah. Bound says, I think I'm starting to not like Murray. She's way too OP and Brennan keeps feeding it. That doesn't make me not like Murray, but it does make me not like the mechanic of like the way that she's working in the game, right? Like I like Murray, I like Brennan, I like the world. I don't like how it's working with her being able to constantly know everything, get every answer, solve every problem. Like that is, I'm like, don't know about that. I think the next thing, maybe it's longer, right? Maybe the next one isn't. They go for 7 episodes and return back and meet up again. Like maybe it's a longer sort of thing. Let's stick with Valus. Oh, I didn't mean to attack. I thought we were going to talk. Okay. Oh, well. Rest in peace. I thought I was going to be able to, like, wake him up. Instead, Valus just walked up and killed that guy. I mean, the brother's been... Oh, I already answered that. It's hard, I think, when Terra's focus right now is just getting his brother unpetrified in his delayed gratification thing. Yeah, but he's also not really... Like, he's just not working towards that. That's the thing. Blah! Thank you for the 41-month resub. Thank you. When Marisha complained during the cooldown about playing a high-end character as Murray, the note takers do have tough jobs at the table. Stephanie says, exactly, but the same with Cadigan. He really has no dog in this race yet. Like, he just doesn't have a story or fit anywhere. Shelby Cooper, thanks for subscribing to the channel. Yeah, well, that's what we're saying. I think, like, with Tayor showing up at the town, he's like the one person that I think when they walked in, he could have been like, all right, guys, good luck, and left, and, like, that would have made perfect sense.
No traps, please.
But that's just not it. I liked when Taylor was crying out for Sid in the Basilisk place. Yeah. When it seemed like he cared that the whole thing was they were trying to find his brother and free Sid, and then it just like stopped. What did you make of Brennan seeming to push Valus to go back to the Abbey? I don't think it was pushing. I think he was just bringing up like her character had that option. That's all. I think it was a cool way to kind of tease like the rest of the group and to throw the idea out there like, ooh, she could go back to the thing, and also give that option to Ashley. Like maybe she does try to leave and take it. But I don't think it was a push as much as like I hope you're aware of this option because that would be wild, right? More of just like this would be a crazy thing. I love Murray. She's one of my favorites, but I agree she's too OP with info. To be fair, I don't think it's the character's fault. It's sort of on Brennan for giving her all the visions and tools. Yeah. Just BG3, what class and race would you recommend? Whatever you want, George. Yeah. If you just got BG3, I mean, find the thing that's cool to you. I don't think you have to worry about that because you're going to have 3 other characters that can, like, if you want to be the rogue, cool. Be the rogue and don't take Astarion. If you want to be the cleric, cool. Be a cleric and then, like, don't take Shadowheart or don't, you right? Like, you can do whatever you want and build the party you want to make. So, I don't know that, like, if you're brand new to everything, a simple one would be, like, a fighter, right? Like, take attacks and move on. So yeah, I would say just pick the thing that you think is cool to you, George. Don't worry about like a recommendation is my take on that. She's been rolling really well. Well, she's rolled really well, but then whenever it isn't, she can just port and so. And my condolences. Yeah, that was rough. Yo, what's up, Austin? Murray, Brennan, and Mercer are all top tier. Just don't love the OP. All agreed. Yeah. See weakness with them. Yeah. Well, but again, when you're like this lore heavy game and it feels like she's just getting all the answers all the time, and even like stuff like augury is just so much better than it's supposed to be, that like she's basically just like an all-knowing thing.
Oh my god.
Oboe the Roach, thanks for the follow on Twitch, right? Like that's kind of yeah. Just got done running a Dragon Eye session for my dad and brother. Oh, dope. How was that, Austin? I don't know what my settings are on, and I'm afraid well, no, you don't see anything when you do this scene, right? Also, I think I'm gonna have Murray do this part. Let's have Murray be the one who witnesses this.
As you approach, a guttural scream and a succession of quick bangs rattle the door. someone or something.
More telling is he's not hype manning the others, even if he feels he doesn't quite fit here. Travis has always been the table hype man. Something does seem off. I feel like something is off. John Michael says Travis is a professional, said in the louder, more centric player. Again, you can do that and still participate or at least seem like you're interested. He seems completely checked out. And so many people are picking up on that, right? If you're a professional, then you're able to like be checked in while also letting people shine. We see it. We like people, you know, most people at the table are good at that. He visually seems checked out, and then it became verbal when he got the chance of just like, I am Taylor. And it was like, that's all you're going to say? And then he was given a chance later to say something, and he just like didn't do it. So I don't know. I feel like it's more than just like I'm letting other people talk. But I mean, none of us really know, right? We're all speculating. But yeah.
Go away!
Yeah, saying did wizard OP for info, like saying evil wizard, it's just a bread and butter for class, the DM feeds it. Yeah, well, but again, it's even so to me, I'm not saying OP. Like I know a lot of people use the word OP and they may not mean it in a sense. I've described it as, again, I like Murray, I like Brennan, I like the world. I don't like what's happening with this specific thing. The way that the lore, the way that the information has been given, the way that she has just completely altered so many things over and over and over again, that is just like, Jesus, you know, like. Are we opening the door, chat? Let me know, chat. Are we opening the door or are we walking away? What would Murray do? What would Murray do? Connor says in regards to Bayless leaving, it was fun to see Ashley consider it briefly. It brought back a flashback of old Bayless for a second. Like, I shouldn't know these people crap. Maybe I should leave. Yeah, exactly. I think playing a Draconic Sorcerer with Elemental Affinity, pretty fun. Okay. Raw Augury is, but though, I like that they're making it a moment. I don't. It's a low-level spell. And I mean, it doesn't have to be. Like, your DM can give you a more concrete sort of yes or no leaning thing or whatever, like take you in a direction without giving you visions and letting you basically get like an incredibly high-level spell. Like, that's how I view that. I think it's becoming too much too early. Kenneth Russell, what in the name of Robert Redford's going on in there? I think Murray would join. Murray would ask Brennan. Lol. Session 1, good. My little brother found a note in a dead guy's pocket and then started showing it to every random person on the road. Combat ensued when he showed the note to some Xanathar guys. Oof. All right, let's do it. Get! Sometimes other people are talking the whole time and you can't get a word in edgewise. When you get the chance to talk, you might not make it because the wind is picking it. No, I agree with that. 100%. Better saying, sometimes it feels like, you know, I tried to participate and it just didn't work and I got shut down and I feel like I'm not like involved. I get it. Yeah. I like Murray, but their late divination gimmick give way too much vision on simple checks, and Augury is almost working as a proper divination. It was cool for having character moments, but yeah, that's how it works. Change fate before it's a problem. Yeah, it just seems crazy. It seems like she's altering so much. Like, think of the sheer number of things that have been monumental she's done in the first 27 episodes, where she's only been in X number, right? Like, it feels like it's too much too often. That's my complaint. It feels like it's too much too often. Like, it's the Murray show. She's always the one talking. She's always the one sharing the information. She always knows. She's always able to find out. Like, it just feels like the Murray show. And I like Murray. But it's also like, it feels like it's the Murray show. She's the main character. Is Augury the only spell kind of that type? No, there are higher level spells that would be more akin to what she's getting out of Augury. You were making a lot of noise. I wanted to join the fun. That is Murray. That's Murray. Yep.
Smash. Oh, smash.
That's exactly how I feel. Yeah. Yeah.
Don't disturb a whole road in the making.
All I said was I wanted to join and they started swinging, so I don't feel bad for taking them out. All right. I keep really hoping to like catting into her, but they just keep being boring. Yeah. It sucks because I think their characters are probably fun and have good potential, but the players have just not really been making any sort of decision. I think they're going to be back to kind of how they were once they split up into new groups again, and it's not 13 people. I think post convergence we will enjoy Cadigan and Tay or more again. I have hopes. Let's do well, you don't really need it, to be honest. You're just kind of cracked, so you feel the reverberations at the base of your skull. You get a bardic inspiration. And Dissonant Whispers on Bothier. Port and die. They can't talk as smart as all the talking. I like Cat too. I don't love I don't know if you were here earlier where I was saying like the Cadigan we've seen in the Convergence is not the same Cadigan we saw the entirety of the other, 25 episodes. Like I don't like, he just became like a blubbering little boy the last 2 episodes, which is fun. It's just contrary to kind of how he was during the Soldier's arc. That's also that part's a little jarring. We're like, oh, you're being quite a bit different. But I think the whatchamacallit, the scene with the Photarch was just like a little mistake. So should we move the plot forward? No, I agree, Rory, 100%. I think it's hard for everybody to be involved when there's 13 players. 100% agree with you. What do you mean not enough movement? Just get up there and booming blade him. Come on, Azune, what are we doing? Dang. Do I not have Quicken Spell? When do I get Quicken Spell? Because I wanted to do that and Thunder Wave off of the Booming Blade. Since there's no Weapon Mastery in BG3. Because I was trying to run his exact build, which is just super cool, but I can't, so.
Fight. Let's go.
Alright, Thunderous Smite. Oh, that's what we'll do. We'll do the little combo here with a little Thunderous Smite. What do you mean not close enough?
Have to keep going.
Oh, he just died. Dang it. Combo didn't even go off. All right, Bayless, get up there in the front.
Time to push my luck again.
All right. What do you think? Throw a little grease out there, dude? Let her fall over? All right, let me see what you guys are saying. Valera's fantastic. I'd love to work at the Arcanaut maybe in the past 10 years. Yeah, maybe before what's happening right now, Crossy. But yeah, I've enjoyed Valera as well. Put together as many pieces, maybe Valera would. I mean, yeah, it would be slower. Yeah. Geeky says, okay, hot take time. I feel like everything before the Convergence has been Railroad, Travis Robbie need more player agency. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Again, I don't think it full Railroad, but I think they all knew they had to go back to Dalmakiar. And it was a little more linear. Travis and Robbie were on more of a linear path because they were the ones following, like, we're gonna get Casimir, then we're gonna go and do Sid. But yeah. People like, apparently. Yeah, I mean that's fair. Because Murray's been talking what does railroading mean? Like so I think so he'll be my definition, right? People can have different ones. Railroady in this sense to me doesn't feel like lacking player agency. I think players are doing freedom things. It's kind of like there are guardrails. So the players are doing something, but they kind of bounce off of something on the side and head back. When I think of railroady, I think the player goes, I want to do this, and the DM is like, you can't. Right? That's a very firm, abrasive, straightforward railroady. It's like, you can't go through that door. Brennan is going to say, you can go through that door, but something in there ends up convincing you to go back that way eventually. Maybe not even in that room. Maybe go through that door, and then you go through the next door, and you go through the next door, but something eventually points you back in the direction of somewhere else. That's normal D&D to me. That's 100% normal D&D to me. Like, the way it doesn't need to be a sandbox to the point where, like, your players just go off and they never come home. Right? Like, that doesn't need to happen. So I think Brennan does a decent job with that, of allowing them to kind of do things and have decisions. But ultimately, yes, you're gonna kind of return to the tracks, right? You're gonna come to a crossroads, you're gonna veer off, but the track is eventually gonna reconnect and you're gonna keep on the same line. All right, so we made her prone. And then what do we think? Maybe a little dissonant whispers? Little Tasha's hideous laughter? She laughs on the ground. Okay, yeah, so then as I kept reading, single track of plot, DM guides players to do. Yes, that's more like it. There's like, there are guardrails, but they're not like extremely narrow, right? You're gonna get guided back to the main story. And to me, that's most Dungeons and Dragons, right? Like that is most Dungeons and Dragons. Some people are like anti any sort of, the players can just like completely go off and do whatever. They just want to play in a sandbox world and do their thing. And some DMs are going to be good with that, and that's how some people play. That is not how most people play. Brennan let everyone choose exactly where they wanted to go. He even gave Alice an option she hadn't thought of. Brendan's making the same mistakes Matt made in C3. The story is already defined. Let the story happen naturally. The story has never, like, I don't want to give like the look behind the curtain, but the story has not happened naturally in any of these things. Like Matt, Brendan, everybody is capable of redirecting. So yes, the players did something that wasn't what Matt expected. They went a little off course, but rest assured, Matt got them back going in the direction of what he kind of had planned at some point in his mind. He was like, they're going to get to this thing at some point. Or they did something different and then he adjusted what that thing was, but like that's D&D to me. Yeah. I don't think it's like, you know, nobody is telling these players, no, you can't do that, and you have to do this, and this is the only way this can get played out or anything like that, right? I took Booming Blade because I like it, but unless I get the two things off, like, it's just not quite as good. Like, if I had Weapon Master, it'd be so good. I didn't watch much C3 Wind Claire, so I'm not necessarily speaking on that. So I just mean in general, I think they're both capable of that, and I think most things were probably C3 could be a different ballpark, right? It could be a totally different experience, but based on everything I know about them and the things I have seen from Matt, Brennan, and whatever, they're more of like these outside guardrails that'll like kind of take you back. But again, I've been in games or seen games where a DM is like, no, you have to do this. This is your only option, right? Like those sorts of things. Why don't I have like firebolt or something, you know? I'd like to do that. All right, here's what we do. We come up a little bit closer. And then we do that. And now you're prone again.
Well, so much for peace.
And then I don't want to have my person go in there. So yeah, let's just do this. That's fair.
Never a dull moment.
Can we just nudge and head the direction the player to go in? Yeah. The only point of railroad mixed with options to do different things, attack problems. Yeah, exactly, David. I agree with that. I 100% agree with that. Taylor and Cadigan don't feel as close as the Ozzy Stimble and oh yeah, in general, Taylor and Cadigan are a little more distant than everybody else. So, well, I think Cadigan might have been. I think he like saved him on a battlefield or whatever, right? There's that. But yeah. What do I want to do? I don't really want to use more spell slots, to be fair. Yeah, she might actually get over here and swing at us this time, so might as well. All right, is she gonna do it? Ow! Ow! She hit like a truck. Run! Oh. Fine, let's just hit him.
Can't even catch my breath.
All right. Get Murray to go, how to go. I think we're good. We're gonna risk it. Yep. 8 HP.
Come on. Can't stay idle.
I can try to guarantee it with that, or I can risk it and go for this. 80% chance, 2 HP, not a problem. Problem though is the D4. So there's a decent chance I rolled a 1. 1 in 4 chance, one might say. And then this guy gets an attack. No, we got it. I'm so just curious about the source of Taylor's power. I feel like once he starts picking up on that, I'll be more heavily tied to him to the plot. Yeah. I also am intrigued by that. Like, where is it coming from? So there's definitely things to learn, and I think we'll figure some stuff out. We will definitely get there. I think everything will come around at some point.
Don't waste a step.
Sort of scam. How's everyone? How's BG2 going? Yo, what's up? Are streams, short streams, scams most of the time? I didn't know that. Also, I think the majority of people There's 5 of you watching on the shorts version of the vertical portrait mode. I'm also live horizontally on my page as well. If people want to see full screen, you can click on that and go watch that.
Time to get going.
I think I would rather they let Brennan DM and have Matt as a player and just had an 8-player table and things would be less messy and the characters would actually interact with each other more. I think I also would probably like that more, but you know, like again, I don't hate this, but I probably would enjoy like a normal Critical Role campaign, even if it's Brennan DMing, right, and Matt playing something where it's like one table following the story, like that sort of thing is probably more up my alley personally. I do think that having a single table would have been fun, but I'm enjoying the multiple tables. Feels a lot more high fantasy and the dramatic irony can be fun. Yeah, it's still enjoyable, right? And there are some people who probably like this more than a normal game, and that's totally valid as well. Like different strokes for different folks. You know, I just, again, hope people are on, you know, they can look at both sides. Like, I can enjoy one way more and still be like, this is fine, this is fun, I'm still having a good time. You know, like, I can be like, I can have a preference and still enjoy this a lot.
No time to rest.
A feast fit for an ogre. You notice a peculiar dagger protruding from the tough, leathery meat.
Dang it. Dang it. Do I really want to use another one for this?
You notice the blade is at an angle to the meat's grain. If you align the dagger with the grain, it should slip out easily.
What if Taylor unknowingly signed a contract with the demon to get his powers up? Oh yeah, maybe he got his the same way that the Luxes and stuff are doing it, and he actually secretly has a pact. Yeah, that'd be interesting. Moki says, I really like all 13 players, and I know this is a limited time thing. I don't imagine it'll be as long as the other campaigns, yet I still would have really loved a single tangle. Yeah. That's totally valid. It's a totally valid way to be like, I enjoy all 13 players. I like all this, but like that, I would have liked something else. Totally fair. They need fresh blood at the table. That's why this campaign is like this. Which table do you guys think you'd prefer to follow out of the 3 for a single story thing? We have to pick one of these tables? I'd probably have to go the soldiers. Yeah. Even though I liked the Schemer's Arc more, I think the soldiers if I was watching a whole campaign, I'm probably going soldiers. Some guy massaging people, definitely some sketchy looking vertical streams. Interesting. That's me. I love the lore and politics multiple tables bring. Yeah. And that's how you also like play though, right?
Thanks to your key.
+1 dagger. Got it. And y'all better save some of your thoughts for the pre-show this week.
At the ready.
Speaking of which, my birthday falls on a Thursday this year. My birthday is the 11th of June, so we'll have a pre-show on my birthday in a couple weeks, guys. So make sure you get your presents. Secrets was my least favorite arc, but feels like it would be the most likely to be able to carry a whole campaign. Interesting.
What to do? On my way.
Nobody's listening. Look what we got here.
If we continue with the 3-table thing, I would rather they all have different stories. The convergence thing was a meeting that should have been an email type thing or a sending spell. You think so?
Flap those wings some more, and I'll feed you
Camping 4 is probably the most engaged I've been. All of live play games. Sure, other games had me for some moments, but some was blur. It's fun to follow threads and see how each table and player unfolds. You know, David, I would like to say there's like a particular aspect of the ecosystem around Campaign 4 that's just really made it for you. You know, I think there's like a particular thing, you know, that's just really added an element that was missing. You know, I can't really put my finger on it, but I feel like perhaps. What was your favorite moment or scene from episode 27? Let me quickly think. I really enjoyed where they caught the accidental questions with Soul, the demon lady. I really liked when like she caught them because Tyranny said the thing about what's the deal with the paints, and then it got flipped on them when Wick was like, well, you asked about the birds. Like, that was a fun scene. That whole thing, the description of her, the way that she acted, really enjoyed that. When Cadigan spoke up and said, if you guys don't give me something to do, I'm going to go crazy. I feel like that was both a Robbie thing and a Cadigan thing. So that really spoke to me, and I was thrilled that he did that. That was like a favorite moment in the traditional sense, but there was that. I think those are the big ones. Learning about like the history of the blood or like the lore of the blood was cool.
What's it bloody look like? We're teaching this.
I should bring you the gift of my presence. Don't worry, it comes with the gift receipt. Fair enough. Fair enough. I played all kinds of games from homebrew years, long campaigns, and stuff straight out of a book. Last game was Red Book. Okay. Definitely didn't even create with lore and politics in mind, though. Fair enough. Fair enough. Release that gnome at once. This is Azune talking. He's 100% like, let him go.
Find your own. He's ours.
As the symbol glows, power courses through you. Authority.
I consider the gnome under my protection. You don't want to fight me for him. Let's do it. Let's do it. Nailed it.
The goblin's nostrils flare, as if trying to judge you through smell alone.
We're leaving. What about the gnome? Ain't we supposed to bring him to... I said we're leaving! There's plenty of sport and rich...
I don't think I've ever gone through this part and not fought these guys. Anyway, exactly. No, I'm with you, Dragon Drake. No, 100%. 100%. As soon as that happened, I was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. That's where the Luxes and stuff are getting their power. It's actually coming from, like, the demon contracts. I was with that.
What's inside?
Release. Break. They're all warlocks, and they don't even know it.
Never a dull moment.
Yeah, Azane is the one who freed him. He's going to be the one who gets to engage with him.
Come on, untie me.
I'll give it a shot.
Cut me loose.
Could have been nicer about it, but...
Bag of Chimera. Those pestilent thugs.
It's just that Seeker's table was weakest, then I wanted to tumble and find out the Seekers were beloved. Color me surprised, presume it's different taste. I think the general consensus is that the Seeker's table is the weakest, but I also think some people did enjoy them. Side note, people also have to remember when the statements were made that the Seekers were not as enjoyable. Because the Seekers were great since they've entered the city. The Convergence, the Seekers have been fine. They've been fun, they've been cool. So now people might be like, the Seekers are great, but it's like, no. They sucked until right now, okay? Again, just my opinion. But yeah, there were several polls, whether it was in a YouTube post, whether it was in the chat, whether it was whatever, and it was very consistent that the Seekers were a small percentage compared to the other two tables. So I think now they would be more well-liked. I think in general, I think they have been much better in the Convergence than they were in their entire arc, for me. So I think more people now are going to come around to them versus before. They're way into cleric levels. Yeah, I'm curious about that meme club. Very curious about that. I love Julian. Matt's performance have been great. It was rough to not have him say or do much, then drop a really fun or emotional moment and go back to not saying much. No, I'm with you, Moki. I agree. When he's done stuff, it's been good. I think the filament may have power, but it may not be exactly like what is granting them everything or that sort of thing, right? Like, I have a hard time believing the filament is just like make-believe. I think it's something, but I don't know that it's like, right? Because then there was the clue about diluting the filament, right? And maybe that's like, so we can put more of it out there, but the real power isn't coming from it because there's not enough because we're diluting it, right? Like maybe it's something like that. No, why are they selling that stuff if it's not a source of divine power? Especially, why do they trade it to demons? Yeah, I think it is. I do think that it has power. I do think that it's special. The last 5 minutes of flashback between Gus and the night he loved made me choke up, not gonna lie. It was a brief scene for me, but it was funny because it backed up, right? He said his comment about, like, I'm not really the kind of person to take wives. And then in the next scene, I was like, oh, is it when like him and the night kissed? I was like, oh, is it because he's gay? So he's like, I wouldn't take a wife. But then he also, I thought, had the flirty moment with Murray. So maybe he's bi, which then the wife thing doesn't connect with that. I don't know. Reasons by his placebo effect. Yeah, I mean, I think that's, again, like, I think the Seekers are making a comeback in the Convergence. So, like, now people may be feeling more positively towards them than they were during the actual arc. Because I am, right? And I was a big proponent of, like, the Seekers arc was not for me. I did not enjoy it. And most people, and all the stuff that I've ever put out there and seen, all the comments I get in my videos, most people didn't. And so I think now the Seekers are, like, showing that, like, you know, they're enjoyable in the Convergence, and so people are, you know, if this is where their gas was on them, now it's moved up, right? Living better in the Convergence might also speak to their synergy when other players are there, showing a switch of characters needs to happen. Quite possible, Megan. Yeah, 100%. Or it's also been, you know, months since they played and they realized they should change something. You know, both those things maybe.
You saved me. Now you'll extort
Also,
me.
forgot to say before, I'd probably
this
prefer to follow the
yes?
Schemers table. I feel like a single fantasy location would be fun to follow, and I love that every single player is so into it. That is fun. I do like how engaged the Schemers are. I agree with that. 100% agree with that. Every time I watch Critical Role, now I keep yelling at the screen because they are not sharing their info optimally. Fully reacting to the campaign with a single player game info I'm not in control of. It's one way to do it. To be a cleric. Make more like a rope-a-dope. Maybe the filament is an offering to the demons that are actually granting them power. Oh, perhaps, like payment. Brendan said Gus is gay in the... Okay. So he basically filled out that he was gay in the thing. That makes more sense. When he said the whole, like, I wouldn't take a wife, and then he said that, I was like, ah, this makes sense. But then I thought, like, well, people really thought that. You owe me nothing. That's Azune, or at least the way I see him.
My own fault, really. I should have dropped my pack and
Yo, what's up, Sarah Stein? And all the parties, I enjoyed half the cast more than the other half. Oh, yeah? Just at every party, you had, like, half that you liked and half you didn't?
Caught me, it was its weight.
Gus could just think Murray's really awesome and not be into her physically. Totally possible. Totally possible.
Ignorance is alive and
I actually didn't watch the cooldown because as soon as I finished the episode notes, I went and played my D&D game, and then today I recorded it, edited my recap, and posted it.
I'm in search of a friend. I fear he's in trouble.
I need to watch the cooldown.
See this? I gave it to him years ago before I left home.
I don't think he's flirting with Tayor.
In the lower city. It was speckled with blood.
Their little bro scene again goes back to like, you know, it was just for funsies, but it just felt like the one scene where they like interacted was more of just like a silly little scene, similar to when they read the thing.
I always help my friends.
The letter.
On that note, I bid thee farewell. If we should meet again, well, we will have met again.
They're battle buddies. All right. I want to go up here first. I don't remember if there's really anything up here. So I feel like Taylor and Caddy, they're just 100%. I don't think there's anything between them. Sometimes you gotta help a buddy out. I'm with it. Do 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 do. Doesn't mean anything. Mogi, what the heck, dude? So I'd give him a little lay on hands, dude. Speedy sparks when the wearer dasher takes some dasher and combat. They gain 3 lightning charges. Send that to Hal. Put on the boots. I can't remember. I thought there was something down here. I liked Thimble and Wick the most. Didn't care for Cadigan, and Tyranny was so-so. I have also been very much... Tyranny is so-so for me. Like I said in my thing that in her top moments, like she could be up there for me. But it just feels like it's incredibly inconsistent and feels a lot more like self-inserty than everybody else sometimes, and just kind of like a joke character sometimes. And then it's like she just feels really out of place sometimes. And I don't mean like oh, it's a demon and she's like new to the world. I mean just like in general. So it's a hard one for me. Like I kind of go back and forth with it. Where's his pack? Am I missing something here? There's a cellar. I went in the cellar, didn't I? Did you prefer Tyrion this past episode, or did it reinforce your opinion on her? It kind of reinforced, well, to me more so. So, and again, in the last Convergence, it felt like Belair tried to have this sort of scene with her. Tal tried to have the scene with her, and Whitney just didn't take up on it. And it felt like she just didn't know where to go with it. And then in this one, it also felt like Brendan was trying to be like, all right, let's have a world building moment. Let's have like a character building moment. Like, you tell me what this, and she just like didn't have an answer for any of it. Like, she like asked the and then she like, I don't know. Like, did she have something before? Did she give, you know, like that sort of thing? And I agree. I think it's a Whitney experience thing. I think she's still kind of like figuring it out. Sometimes bit taken too far. Yeah, I think she's really doing the bits thing. And yeah, that was the oh, this bag. Okay, I already opened it, so why is the thing still there?
What to do?
All right. What now?
Oh, did she give the smoke powder? Is that what it was? Okay. Doesn't go away. Okay, the little symbol doesn't go away.
Let's see what this does.
To the demon. Well, she basically just said like, hey, I'm like torn between wanting to protect Wick but also wanting to cause suffering. Yeah, that's a solid question. I think it was worded still in a very like self-inserty Valley Girl way and not like the character, but it's valid, like valid. I like Tyrion as an agent of chaos. She wildly fluctuates from between being hilarious, sometimes a little cringe, like with the dog thing. Yeah. The way tyranny is, I'll ever be able to fully into tyranny. Perhaps when we have that eventual meeting with her father, I'm hoping will at least. I hope she gets some growth. I think she's still finding her groove, but I hope she's getting guidance. Right? I hope people are helping her instead of just being like, you're doing great, you're doing awesome, like whatever, and then she like just continues to stay stagnant and like be the way that she is now. And some people are like, she's my absolute favorite. I love that. Again, to each their own. People are gonna have different things that they enjoy. But she's a pendulum for me, and it's like I don't like any of this to like that was really nice, and then right back to like this was terrible, back to like this was really nice, and it goes and goes and goes. I wish she'd taken the demon who genuinely believed in the creed more seriously. The moment was funny, but I wish she'd taken Brendan more. Yeah, that I feel like that's a thread to pull on for sure. I think that 100% was a thread to pull on. She's got Osney for guidance now. Lol. Guidance joke. We made a guidance joke. Her protectiveness of Wick. Yeah, I'm all for that. I like the protectiveness of Wick. Yeah, I'm with it. She gets the same character as Joe character too, and Scanlan became a really amazing and deep character. I feel like the internet loves Azune, and I'm like, why? Well, it depends. Some people, like, I like Azune as a character, and I really like Louise. I think a lot of people are kind of iffy. Like, you either love the crazy emotional tears and snot, or you don't. And I don't, but I still like him. I don't hate it either, right? I'm not one of the people who, like, every time it happens, I'm like, God, get it off the screen. But I'm also not somebody who's like, this is my favorite. I love watching him cry. I am into this. Like, right? Like, that's... I don't fall in either one of those camps. To me, it's just like, okay, this is something we're going to get through. You know, like, that's it.
Haven't seen that game in years.
I have a lot on my mind. And well, in it.
Let's have Murray do this.
Tastes like chicken.
I said, yeah, exactly. He was like, but Octus could go. And I was like, oh, I mean, I think he's right. But also that was kind of a quick change up. And that's why everybody's like, I don't like how quickly you did that.
This quarrel sours our faith. Besides,
I would love to see her use the power of suffering of their enemies, giving her power to their advantage. That would be neat, yeah.
brothers, look here. I have eyed yet another prize.
With a crying emotionality the first few times I'm over it now. I don't know that it'll last forever. I think he's eventually going to find his footing, but I think right now he's just in a highly emotional state is kind of like the idea that I have of him. But yeah, again, it's not my favorite thing. But I'm also not, like, again, I know people who on both ends of the spectrums that are like, I love him crying, it makes me cry, like, although there are those people. And then there are the people who are like, every time he cries, I fast forward. Right? Like, there are those, and I just watch it, but I will admit, I lean more on the I don't love it side than the love it side, but everybody watches for different reasons. And I really like Louise, and I really like Azune as, like, his whole mechanics and the idea of being like, it seems, again, I think he may have some tricks up his sleeve or a past that he doesn't know about or we don't know about. But it also seems like he's kind of like a more honorable person as of now to a degree. So...
Am I not astonishing? A robust diet makes for a shrewd mind, you see. I am a gourmand. And you, a delicacy. Unless you bear the mark, of course.
That's where it makes it so fascinating. Sweet. Maybe it just feels like it's gotten worse. Like it wasn't doing as much in the overture. I don't. Yeah. I mean, he did it. Yeah. Again, I understand people not liking it, and I understand people who are into it. And you know, you're gonna have people on both sides of it all the time. So. I really appreciate that Azune, or more so Louise, is willing to play the character who's really struggling with this. Same with Wick, to be honest. It feels like Ground's campaign, even if I'm not all in. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I also, you know, I know some people I'm kind of a Wick stan. Not only does Sam bring that levity and all that sort of fun, but I also feel like Wick provides such a unique, you know, sort of perspective and all that. Yo, Juan, thank you so much for subscribing. And has the potential for such a cool arc that I really, really enjoy where Wick's at and where he could go. Again, some people are like, oh, he's the same, or oh, he's this and that, but it's like, it's been a week and a half and people want him to be like a whole different person. And yeah, I like all of that.
Food?
Oh, I'm so far away. That seems good. That would also probably be really nice, but
Very well.
Demon who believes the creed. I think it's a good reflection of how tyranny has internalized the creed's propaganda that she's born in sin, even if she knows it's BS. It was a great time, but Sam and Laura are my favorites, so I'm biased. Although Alex is rapidly climbing for me. Yeah, I've enjoyed Alex quite a bit. I should have done that first. Oh well. Either one of these first would have been nice and take that extra damage, but I'm super curious on who everyone's favorite character is and which character they think has had the best arc between tables. For me, I'd probably say Wick. I almost want to put Grease over there to try to stop. Dang. Okay. Wait, is that guy attacking too? Temporarily hostile. Oh, that's not good.
Can't slow down.
No choice but to keep going.
All right. I can either kill that guy real quick or come up and fight this guy. Or I'm gonna do you one better. Can I? Yeah, go ahead. You suck. How about fire chromatic orb right here? Okay. I could also smoke powder on the next turn if I wanted to. Yep. I kind of want to halt that guy, our command, but this guy's going to attack me. I guess we're just doing that. We're in an Alicia and Sarah style long campaign, but actually it's more like D20 after all. Short arcs with free scheduled timeline to get to certain points. Makes sense to hire Brennan for that, but it's my least favorite aspect of D20 and a problem with C3. I wish for the freedom and non-linearity of C1 and 2. I think 9%, if not everyone, agrees. No, there definitely, I have seen people, again, I don't think it's like the majority by any stretch. I think people enjoy Wick, but I have seen people who are like, Wick's annoying, or Wick's still like, blah, 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 and, so. But it is not like a ton of people. All right, frighten him or gain advantage on all my attack rolls. do that. I don't think the party would have been screwed big time at the paint shop had he not taken control of the negotiations. Probably. Yeah, I support that. What the heck? Let's go ahead and put on the wyvern poison. If I do that, I should probably catch more. Alright. 42% chance. I don't really want to use the smoke powder bomb. He's doing his best. Yeah, I know. I know. No, I don't feel bad at all. I find it all very funny. I think it's a really good time when they all kind of do their little picking on him and stuff like that. Well, to be fair, again, it's still so early to be like, you know, one person is as good as or worse than a character that we saw, you know, people saw for 2 years or whatever, right? Like, that's very different. I don't know what to do. Create a spell slot. Oh, I can only do a level 1. Am I out of level 1s? I thought I had level 1. Oh yeah, I am. Yeah, that's all I have. It's a dumb question. And then, what do you think? We can Chromatic Orb? Or do we Thunder Wave? Try to knock him back again. Go away, get away from me. Please for me. Chat was still working though. Oh, interesting. I don't think it happened with anybody else, but it's because you cast Hold Person on me. I really want to move out of the way. But this guy's gonna bonk me on the head, unfortunately. And I don't love that. So... I don't really want to use anything else. What the heck? Healing word yourself. Ow. All right. Yeah, I guess we'll just hit this guy. No, no, no. That's not good. Let's do this and we'll try it again. Love that for me. I've kept this guy out of the fight for 2 rounds. Big fan of that. Let's see if we can do it again, huh?
Very well.
Oh, I hit my guy. This upsets me tremendously.
Well, so much for peace.
Okay. Canonical Veil is missing. I mean, that it do be like that. Command. Oh, because I'm threat. That's so annoying. Drop, flee, grovel. Nice. Nice. I do not want to use her turn to do 2 points of damage. I'm not gonna lie to you. So I think I'm gonna go punch that guy in the face. I think that's what I'm gonna do.
I think you can take me on.
Haha, flee, lump the enlightened, you fool. Alright, we're gonna risk it for the biscuit. We're gonna do that. Boom, baby, boom. Alright. And then what we're gonna do is have you get way out over here.
Time to push my luck again.
All right. I can't get to him either, right? If I jump, can I get there if I jump? I think I can. Nice.
All right then.
Let's try to kill Fank. Nope. What do I want to do? Sure, let's try it. Nope. All right, let's go ahead and get out of here.
Swift as my feet can carry me.
I don't even want to use heal on him, dude. I'm just gonna let him rock. Just gonna let him rock. Paladins, but yeah, Tayor's had a really rough go of it. Very rough go of it. This is another one where like I don't really want to use her attack on it, but there's no other reason not to. So
With haste.
Throw. Where's the healing potions? There they are. Oh, the Shadow Curse. Yeah, I didn't see that from Megan. I also would like to learn more about that. For melee combat. What does he have? A 14? 16? I mean, it's probably not low, right? It's probably just not like the optimal, like a 18 or something. I don't know. Feel like Julian did what Julian had to do, you know what I'm saying? 15? Okay. So he's got a +2. Could be worse. I mean, this is best case here because these are all chances. Great concentration, but this guy's just insane.
Another fight. Let's go.
Yeah, in comparison to that, 100%. Thimble doesn't have smite though. But she also has an offhand attack that does another +5, so I mean, hey.
What path lies before me?
Hmm. 20% chance, baby. Critical hit. Love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. Vicious mockery. Hey, he lost Blur. Let's go. Nice. All right, step back in here. You done goofs now, brother.
Blood comes easy these days. These boots have seen everything.
Not great, but let's do that.
Majesty of your sovereign of shit.
Still on my feet.
All right, if it's a hit, it's probably a kill, and it's a miss. All right, so let's cut off line of sight here. Ow! Whopped him right on the back of the head. Or 19 or 20. Yeah, he might have rolled kind of poorly compared to everybody else. Since everybody has the heroic stats or whatever, everybody's god tier. I probably should have done it, played this out differently to be able to get that horn access. Because does it still work after you kill them? I'm going to assume no.
Got a long road ahead.
Can't give up now. At least things have stayed interesting.
Who do I want to put the headband on?
Never believe this.
Looking ahead.
Still breathing, despite everything.
All right. What now?
Band of ogres. Well, that's lumps, but if you've made a deal with them, they will make an effort to spare your party. Horn summons nothing because they're dead. That's what I figured.
Everything.
In my playthrough, I had the horn.
Another step forward.
I had access to it. Access to summoning them.
What's that? Always room for more?
I mean, Belair's done some things. Belair's a little different. I like the way that Taliesin is playing Belair. I've enjoyed it. And he's definitely tried to have some conflict with players. I mean, even more so in the first Convergence. He tried to get a fight with Whitney, and she just didn't participate. Roll the minimum. Oh, really? You rolled that poorly? I mean, it definitely happens. Yeah, some people just rolled absolutely insane. Like, I think Bayless's stats are nutty. Cadigan's are super good. So, like, they're not the best comparisons because they're, like, insane with the stats. All right.
Let's get going. Is that blood? No, never mind.
All's well that ends. Not as bad as it could have. Looking ahead.
And then, no, they did a system that was it was called like the heroic rolling system in 3.5, which I can't remember now. I think it's like 5d6 or something like that. 4d6, and you... Yeah, I think it's roll 4d6, drop the lowest, re-roll ones? No. I think they did. They told us, and I know it was like a high sort of method or whatever. They did 5d6, dropping the 2 lowest dice. So you had 2 extra die rolls to get a good roll. So instead of being like, oh, you got like a 4, a 4, and a 2 for a 10, you could instead be like, I got a 4, a 4, a 4, a 2, and a 5. And so now you're taking those, like that sort of thing. So you have a higher chance of, I mean, it's the same chance of getting higher and lower, but more options. Oh, wow, this is crazy. When I Googled it, and it gives you like little AI overview, they cite me. They cite my Instagram video. So now I can remind myself what they said they did. They rolled 5d6, dropping the 2 lowest. Is that a class feature? No, I don't know. What is Murray's dex? I don't know. I know Thimble went with like a super low strength. I think that was how she got like a 20 dex, or maybe just Brennan's way of saying like you're a fairy. So let's like make that reasonable. But I don't know about her dex. But yeah, did they reroll ones? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. I think they just roll 5 dice and drop the 2 lowest. Dex is 9. Yeah, I mean, you can certainly get that. Just, I mean, you roll 3, 3, 3, right? You roll 4, 2, right? Like, you can certainly get a 9 with that. You can roll poorly enough, but I mean, she's also got great stats. But I think Robbie and Bayless have like the best ones. Belair does a lot of questionable stuff. Yeah, no, he does 100%. Yeah, Belair is not like, all safe and all that sort of jazz. There's still stuff there, and he definitely tries to get some conflict. Like I said, he definitely tried to get some with with Tyranny. It's the kind of thing that makes an interesting character if the other PCs will engage with it. My issue is that they don't engage with the ethical dilemma of Blair at all. I mean, they've touched on it a tiny bit, but again, I think it's partially because there's just bigger fish to fry, right? Like, you got to think about it. Like, they're like, oh, a powerful house that is like ripping out the hearts of their family and bringing shades and undead into our place and trying to take over, and these other houses are doing this and doing that. It's just like, hey, Belair, maybe, yeah, it's a questionable, it's a weird thing, it's an ethical dilemma, but like right now he seems like he's on our side, so let's rock with it, right? Like, yeah, exactly what Winclair said. Like, do they really have the time to sit back and be like, let's talk about this? He decided to live on his own. He gave him negotiate for freedom. He just killed them all for his safety and convenience. At the next table, if they switched it up, I can see Belair getting into conflict with other characters. Definitely. Definitely. I wonder if Belair kept the bodies healthy, would he have to change so often, or would he have given better chance to take them? Yeah, again, like, not knowing the specifics of the mask, and again, it seems like he's purposefully, like, not feeding them enough and doing all that stuff, which is really interesting. I would like to know more about all of that. All of that would be intriguing. Where someone would say how Salevar is and has been working with demons. Demons! Yeah, I would agree. I feel like that also hasn't really, you know, been like, wait, so if this whole thing is that the light is real and it touches and the demons are here because of it, but then you find out that the whole light thing is a fraud, why is nobody being like, wait, then what's the deal with the demons, dude? Like, if the religion that was supposed to be like, that's what allows the demons to not be terrible things, is a fraud, then that means the demons are probably still pretty bad, right? What's the deal with the demons? 100% Piratey Steve, yes. I'm with it. But all right, guys, I'm going to call it there. We're approaching 3 hours. This has been fun, good conversations. I actually got through a little bit here in the Baldur's Gate, which is, you know, more of the background thing. It's more about chatting and whatnot. But thank you guys for tuning in. I don't know if I'll be live again before Wednesday. Wednesday we'll do the Dungeon Master. It's the finale, by the way. The Dungeon Master's finale is on Wednesday, so hopefully you guys check that out. I might do a review of the Convergence episode that we just saw to get another video out, so stay tuned to get all my thoughts on all of that. But yeah, otherwise, pre-show on Thursday, 7:45 p.m. Eastern. Hopefully I will see you guys there. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will see you guys